down in the dirt, find the places I heard. Digging down in the dirt, find the places I heard. Digging down in the dirt, find the places I heard.
Hey folks, how's it going? Give me a second to figure out what I'm doing here. Put my trusty Les Paul away. Can't even hear myself in these headphones that well. I always do everything last minute when I'm doing these setups. I gotta figure out a better setup for these headphones, but hopefully that sounded somewhat okay. I wasn't really warmed up for it. But anyway, how's things going? Another Monday night. Hopefully everybody's having a good start of the week. Let me know if there's anything that's kind of weird. I'm gonna check out the chat here, make sure everything's good, and we'll get started with tonight's festivities. We've got some topics to speak about. I think I've got myself set up here with showing you some photos and talking about some new Gibsons today. Well, new. Well, everybody knew they were coming, but apparently they're releasing today, so that's always nice. Okay, let's have a quick look at the chat, see who's in here. I'm sure we've got a lot of regulars in here. I see the familiar name. Man, the chat is like... I was a little late getting started tonight, guys. I'm sorry about that. I was doing some last minute fiddling around with, you know how technology and all this crap goes. Sometimes there's always something to try to figure out, but got everything set up and we're ready to go. Jason Wade, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for being in here again, moderator. I got him and R2 in here moderating, so that's awesome. And Bam is here tonight. How's it going, Bam? Nice to see you. He's a PRS man, so it's always nice to see that. Landon, how's it going? Landon, how do you say your last name? Debois? Is that? Yeah, Debois. I don't know if that's French. Cool. Daniel Horsley's in here. Quentin James, what's going on? Hey kids, copyright. Yeah. I'm going to get another copyright tonight because that song you heard when you came in there was another SMEER song. So, but that's all right. It's my song, so they can copyright me all they want. Let me know if there's any buffering going on because the stream is kind of going back and forth on me here as far as the quality, the speed and all that, but I think it's okay. Todd Flowers, how's it going? Got Joe Hervey 84's in here. Brad, hey Brad, you made it. Brad Egan's in here. You made it home on time for the live stream. Good stuff. Guitarded's in here. Dave R's Guitar, how's it going? Who else we've got in here? Denny Allen. Gussie, how's it going? Gussie, I was planning on going to the guitar show. I usually go every year. Yeah, so I'll speak about that as well. That was the first time I went to, I guess, so-called vintage, call it vintage guitar show. I'd never been to one, so that was fun. But I'll share that experience with you a little bit later as well and show you some pictures. Brian Stewart. How's it going? James Severin. Wow, got a lot of people in here tonight. Chuck Booth, made it. There we go. I'm trying to make my way down if I miss anybody. Eric from EVH Gear's in here. He's in here for a little bit, but he's got a bunch of stuff on the go, so I understand that. No problem at all. And again, I apologize for being a little late. I Rock the Blues in here. I think I've got everybody here. Brad Miller. If I missed anybody, I apologize, but sounds great. Audio and video look fine. Good. All right. Well, we'll hope the stream holds. I'm in the same situation as Eric with his internet. It seems to be an ongoing battle for us, but we'll get it figured out. I just got to figure out my headphones here. These headphones are still a work in progress for me. Let me see, make sure my levels are good. All right. So I had an interesting weekend. It was I got my bike back this weekend. They delivered them back on Friday because we store our bikes over the winter, so that was fun to get them back home and ready to go. But the weather on the weekend was pretty shitty, so I didn't get any riding done. And today, as I'm doing this stream, it's snow flurries outside. So great, you know, we're almost in May and we're still dealing with snow flurries. But they're calling for better weather down the road here with the next few days, and then on the weekend it looks like it's going to be good. So be able to get out on the bikes for the first time this year and do some riding. So looking forward to that. So that was good. And on Sunday, not far from here, from where I live, it's about an hour away, in a place called Elmira. Every year they do they do a vintage guitar show. So it's like in a local little arena area, and they set up a bunch of tables and stuff, and then people can come in and, you know, rent space there, and they sell stuff, and you can buy and trade and display all your stuff. So that was kind of interesting. So that was something to do on Sunday that I was looking forward to. And let me, maybe I can go to, I'll show you some pictures from that event and maybe speak about some of the stuff that I saw. There wasn't a whole, like, I mean, there was a whole lot of stuff there. Nothing that I was crazy looking at or anything. Like there was a couple of Les Paul things that I really liked. Let me go to that screen if I can. There we go. How's that? Okay. So let me see if I can adjust that a little bit. And this one. See if I can move that a bit. Yeah, it's kind of a weird. It's on Facebook, the pictures, so let's see what I can do here. This is just them setting up, I guess. Let me just go through a few. So they were set up on tables and so forth, just like, you know, I guess any guitar show. I've never been to a guitar show, like, or a vintage guitar show anyway, right? So they had, you know, kind of these table setups, and people walk around and check out all the gear. This is kind of before the show starts, all these tables. I was surprised they were putting some pretty expensive guitars on these stands that kind of, I don't know, they looked a little little flimsy to me, but you're going to put that on one of those tables when a kid walks by or something, knocks that table just a little bit, and you might have a big problem with your guitars on the ground. But I'm just going to go through a couple of these photos. It's just really a lot of vintage gear. Let me see if I can get to the main page here, because they had a lot more pictures than that today when I was looking. And let's see. Guitar show. Let's go to that. Where is it? Bear with me, folks. I'll get it. So here's the videos. Okay, here it is. Great shots here. There was quite a few Strats. I saw more Strats than I did see of, well, so yeah, they had more Strats than I did see of Gibsons as far as Les Pauls go. I saw an R8 and just some regular stuff. D'Addario was there. They were selling a bunch of strings and straps and stuff. They had some old amps. There was a company called Dr. Dan. They're out of Nova Scotia, and they make they're not in this picture, but they make these amps that are like plexis. And the guys were showing them, and they had them pretty cranked up in there, and it sounded amazing. I didn't get any pricing for them. Here's two tellies. These tellies were, I think, in the 60s, were they? I think something like that. I can't really tell on the tag, but one of them was 9,000, the other one was 5,000. One of the guys played this one here, the kind of orangey looking one, and it sounded amazing. But yeah, these are really old Strat, or old tellies, sorry. Then they had these this company that basically sold you the kits so you could build your own guitars. They were really well made. I had a good look at them and spoke to the guys that were, you know, manufacturing this stuff here. I think they're out of Ontario, and some pretty good quality stuff that they're putting together. But I'm not one to build my own guitar. I guess maybe someday if I want to do that, I would do it, but not really my thing right now. But yeah, they had some really nice stuff and some interesting builds that you could do with this stuff. Their necks felt really good. So there's another angle, some of the tellies that they were showing. So there's some more. There's that PRS I was talking to Bam about today, this morning. This is a 594. I believe it was early 2000s. I think the guy was asking 3,500 or something around that area. I picked it up. It played nice. It you know, felt really good. And then they have this Explorer down here that was really nice. What year was this one? I can't remember what year this one was, but it was really nice. And pretty heavy though for an Explorer, and it had kind of that carved arm, I guess, rest there, which was, I don't know, I didn't think Explorers had that, but this one had that. It was really nice. They had some 335s and some funky looking stuff there too. Had some basses, some Ricks, an old Gibson bass as well. There's that guitar place again. They had a bunch of little companies that were showing off, you know, little knickknacks and cups and all kinds of guitar related stuff. So if you're looking to decorate your house with guitar stuff, there was a bunch of stuff there for that. There's this guy, he was funny. He was right into it. Had a lot of acoustics, anything from Martins to Gibsons to Taylors, and some really old vintagey stuff. Some pretty expensive stuff too. I didn't pick one up to play or anything, but like I said, these things are all on these little flimsy tables and on stands and stuff. I just, to me, I was like, wow, somebody kicks that table a little bit too hard, you're going to have yourself a problem with these guitars falling over. This is a custom guitar maker. I believe they're in Ontario as well. Really nice guitars, fairly priced. They weren't too expensive. Like, I mean, they were expensive. They were over $2,000, but I mean, for the quality you're getting, it was pretty good. Trying to see if there's a picture of that amp company that I was. These are probably, yeah, that. Yeah, they don't have the picture of that. Oh, hold on, let me go back here. Yeah, I can't really see the amp company that I want to show you guys. Damn. Oh well. Anyway, that was an interesting show. And yeah, the amp company was Dr. Dan. Hold on, I think he has a Facebook page. Dr. Dan Amplifier Service. He's from Nova Scotia, and his amps sounded amazing. And they kind of look like Marshalls, like old Marshalls. Like, here you go. Here's a photo. If this thing ever loads. I'm really taxing my internet here, folks. There you go. Yeah, so there's these amps that I was talking about. Let me move this down a bit. Like that. They're like plexis, right? So they sounded really nice, really nice. I think they're probably about, I think the guy said some of them are starting about $2,500 a pop. They had 100 watts, 50 watts. Very simple design, but really well built. I didn't go in too much details. There was a lot of people around there, and the guys that make them were talking to people, but I didn't get a chance to talk to them. I did get their card and stuff. So interesting company for sure. Just a local mom and pop type of setup, and the guy is just passionate about building amps, and started building these. And the guy was played a Les Paul, an R9 actually that he had. He played that through there, and he played an SG through there, and man, it sounded. He was playing some AC/DC and some Zeppelin, and sounded identical tone-wise. It was really good. But all right, so let me go back to my main screen here. Yeah, so that was fun, and it was the first time I went to one of those, so it was like, okay, I'll check it out. I didn't buy anything. I told my wife if I see an R7 gold top that is reasonably priced, I'll consider it. And she looked at me like, what? You just bought an R9 and you're looking for an R7? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But I did play an R7 about a week ago that I really liked. I didn't think I would like the neck because they're a little bigger than even the one that I have, but it felt really nice. But again, I'm just dreaming. All right, let's see if I missed anything in the chat, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the new Gibson launch. Hey, Nocturnal's in here. How's it going? Listening to Nocturnal's show today. I like listening to her show. She does them on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the morning around 10 a.m. A lot of fun discussions. Jamal's in here. How's it going, Jamal? Gussie says that guitar show used to be held in the Legion, but they moved it to the arena. I can imagine there was a lot of people. This was the biggest year apparently for that show. Every year it's growing, so that's a good thing. I guess more people are coming out, and there's more vendors and more things to do, more options. So it's grown a lot for sure. Brad Egan says, had I known about the show, I would have gone. Denise and I were looking for some. Oh, damn, I should have let you know, Brad. I didn't even think about it. We just decided last minute. I decided Sunday morning because I said, I told Elaine, my wife, I said, there's a guitar show there. There's something to do if you want to do. I didn't expect her to want to go. And she said, yeah, let's go. So what we would have liked to do is rode out there on our bikes, but it was windy and cold and stuff, so we just took the car. Let's see if I get anything. So yeah, so okay. I see Blues Hawk behind that. Yeah, they had a bunch of Gretches there too that were really nice. They had what's that company, Dan Electro or something like that. They had a bunch of those that were really nice. Super amps were there. They had some really old amps, like stuff that was like, and they were asking some top dollar for those things. So yeah, there's still a market for that stuff, that's for sure. 594 only released a couple of years ago. It's probably just a McCarty. Yeah, that's possible, that it was a McCarty, because it was early 2000s. I believe it was a 2004 or something like that, but I thought it said 594, but it could have been McCarty. I'm not really well versed on the PRS models as much as I am like on a Gibson or something like that, but yeah, it was a nice guitar. Joey Harvey, I live close to D'Addario. Oh, where? I don't even know where they're located, D'Addario. Are they in New York or something? Because NYXL, right? So I figure maybe they'd be in the New York area. David Ennis, how's it going? Oh, for chat just jumped on me. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any of your questions. You have to be sober for those guitar shows, R2 says. Yeah, because I can't imagine somebody just walking around there and hitting the table and seeing a bunch of those guitars go flying, because there was some pricey stuff there that was pretty vintage. And I don't know if I would have just stuck my R9 on one of those tables to let people just walk by like that, but I guess they didn't have that many problems because they do it every year, and that's the setup that they go with. So I guess I'm just overprotective on that stuff. Some counterfeits I got sent. Todd is talking about some counterfeits. Oh, the strings maybe? Okay. Bam. Okay, there we go. I think I'm caught up with the chat. Cool. There we go. Quentin James says, I played my Epiphone Explorer. Don't tell Guitar Hack. Plus it has gold hardware. Yeah, you're striking out with that one. First it's an Epiphone and it's got gold hardware. Yeah, you're not gonna get anywhere with Guitar Hack with that one. It's all good though. I'm sure it's a fine guitar. But yeah, Guitar Hack doesn't like the headstock. But that headstock on an Epiphone Explorer looks like exactly the same as a Gibson Explorer headstock. But the Les Paul one is kind of weird. And speaking of Guitar Hack, there he is, Hub. How's it going, Guitar Hack? Showman Blues, how's it going? I saw some of your guitars there. I think you were on with Johnny Bean, maybe? That's last week, and you were showing off some of the Friedman stuff. That's awesome, man. You got some nice guitars. I really like those Friedmans. That Cali looked amazing. I'm sure you're enjoying those. Then you've got a Strat like mine, but it was a different color, and you seem to like that one a lot too. So you've got a lot of nice guitars. We got Carl Stevens. He's in the house. About the guitar show where I am at, an owner of a booth knocked over his own stuff. I was like looking crazy. Yeah, that would be kind of weird. Okay, hold on. My camera's kind of freaking out here. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to cut to this camera here, which is a different thing. But right now, with this other camera freaking out a little bit, I think I can go to this one for a minute. And then I'll cut back to the other one if it comes back. I think I've got a bad cable connection on that one. So this one's kind of weird looking from my screen anyway, but maybe on your end it looks okay. But I'll cut back to this one, and if it cuts out again, I'll go back to the other one is a webcam, so it's not as great, but at least it's a camera. Showman says I have to paint my room gray like yours. Yeah, well, it's an option. I like the gray because this particular gray because there's less of a light leak and balance. So if you're taking photos or something in here, the wall doesn't cast like a shade of whatever the wall color is. This gray kind of absorbs light, so it's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, today was the big launch, I guess, of the new Gibsons, and I think a lot of folks were waiting for that to happen. We got some pricing finally, some actual pricing. It looks pretty good as far as what I can see, the pricing wise. The standards, I don't like, these are American prices obviously, so I guess they've gone down a few $100s compared to where they were before. The standards, the 60s version and the 50s versions, and all the other stuff. But stuff like the Junior have gone up, I think, by $100. There's a few that have gone up in price, and then there's a lot that have kind of went down a little bit in price and stuff. So that's a good sign. I mean, the guitars look great, and they've gone back to basics. The one thing I did notice about the new Les Pauls, the 50s and 60s, is that there's absolutely no weight relief in them, and some of the lighter ones are in the 10-pound range, and that's their lighter ones. So they will be a heavier guitar than what we were used to, I think, in the past, as far as the last couple of years in this, getting standards that had weight relief, or even my Classic had weight relief, and it was still pretty heavy. So that's something. Yeah, I guess go out to the stores and pick one up and try it out and see how it feels. And they've gone back to a lot of the traditional, traditional tuners and that type of thing, which is a lot better. I think the pots are new as well, more traditional. The pickups, obviously the 60s, I think they're using 61 pickups, 61T and something else. And the 50s is I can't remember, but I did see it earlier, but it's a different style as well. Guitar Hack says 3,200 Canadian for the new Les Pauls. Okay, well that's a few $100s less than what they were before, because I think they were starting at 35 or 36. The ones that were out, the standards that were out now. So yeah, it's a few $100, right? So that's pretty good. Let's cut to that stream. Let me see if I can bring it up here. So these are, if I go here, basically these are the 50s versions, and yeah, $24.99, and that's they only have a select colors. Where is the colors? Oh, right here. They only have 3 finishes for each model, I believe. So they've got this, I guess, gold top for the 50s anyway, and they've got this, I guess it's a classic burst. What is it? Heritage Charity Burst. This would be the one that I would like if I was in the market for another Les Paul that you know, if I wanted to get one of these, this is the color I think I like the best out of the new ones in the Les Paul Standard 50s. Let me bring my chat over to this window so I can actually see you guys here in case, and that way, yeah, that's better. Okay, that's good. All right. So yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys think. If there's a favorite model, favorite color that you like. This one's really nice too. I don't know. I think. Can you see where? I guess you guys can see my mouse moving on the screen there, but I find there's a lot of dark around where the pickup selector switch is. I would have liked to see like the burst or whatever, the lighter color kind of blend in a little bit more up towards that area. Kind of, I find it cuts off a little bit there, but it's just a preference. But that's a nice guitar too. But my favorite out of the 50s is this one. I don't know what you guys think. And Bourbon Burst. Wow, that sounds nice. Yeah. And where's the... I'm going to go to the 60s. The 60s Les Paul. I think that's the one that some of you have mentioned you liked. The Guitar Hack likes that one as well. If my browser can go back one. Come on. There we go. There's the 50s. Okay, 60s is this one. And again, they've only got 3 finishes for each. So this one is Ice Tea Burst. This is a very nice one. I like this one a lot too. I like that one. And then they've got the Bourbon Burst again. This and the tuners are different on the 60s than they are on the 50s. These are Grover tuners on the 60s, which is, and the volume and tone knobs are different as well. But all nice. And then they have one that's a no burst or unburst or whatever. It's kind of like the standard that I had previously, the one I traded for the R9. It was kind of this color here, but mine was called the Mojave Burst, I think, something like that. But they all look nice, that's for sure. What do you guys think? Let me see here. Jason says the same. Me and you have our 2018 SGs. Yeah, I still love my SG, that's for sure. But I'll tell you something, that R9 has pretty much spoiled me because since I got it about 2 weeks ago, it's like my main guitar. I use it all the time. And then I pick up another guitar and it's just not the same. It's just not. But not that I don't like my other guitars, it's just that there's a huge difference for me anyway, feel and sound wise on that, and I just feel very comfortable with that neck. So it was a good thing that I did find that one and that it was perfect for what I was looking for. Dave R's guitar says they're going to be traditional territory and weight. Some will be heavy, some more reasonable. Yeah, and that's the funny thing, right? Because if you buy something like a custom shop guitar, you're typically getting, you know, their best wood, I guess, and their, I guess, most dried out wood. I don't know really the process, but like my R9 is one solid piece of wood, no weight relief or anything, and I think it's 8.5 pounds or something like that. And I've played some of the custom shops that were like 7.8, 8.2. So just depends on the wood that they're using, maybe. That's but yeah, the new ones are all, the ones that I looked at even on Sweetwater where they list the weight of them, they're all 10 pounds plus, right? So they're not going to be light guitars, that's for sure. But I'm looking forward to trying them. That's for sure. You know, that 50s neck is where I'm at now, I think. I thought that the 60s neck was for me when I first got back into guitar and I started playing again. And my classic was more of a 60s style neck, and then I got the standard, it was more 60s, and I really got used to them. But then I started playing the traditional, and I think I was way more comfortable after that. So that's where I'll stick. Guitar Hack says my fave would be the 60s Tobacco with 61 pickups. Yeah, there you go. That would be perfect. Dave's Guitar says the Unburst is my favorite. Nice. Quentin James says weight relief is fine. I know a lot of girls that play those. Oh, Quentin, you're gonna get in trouble. Let's see. See if I missed anything here. Dale Palmer says my favorite would be the one I get for my birthday. Yeah. When's your birthday, Dale? Gotta put it out there. Yeah, so maybe I don't know when the stores here will in Ontario will start getting them in stock. I'm assuming in the next couple of weeks we'll start seeing them. In the States, you guys probably already have them in the stores, so go out and check them out in person and let us know what you think. I Rock the Blues says I would love to see an iced tea with double white humbuckers like a KM. Yeah, that would be nice if they would do that. Yeah, like Robert Baker's or something. The SGs are really nice. There's a couple of, which one did I see? There's an SG special with two P90s that's interesting. I think it's this one here. It's only got two colors. It's got the Pelham Blue, that's a nice color. That really is nice. I didn't think I would like it when they first announced it. Like they said Pelham Blue, and I was like, nah, what's that? But man, that looks really cool. That looks really nice. Just Denny Allen says, just click add to the car, the add to the cart button. Easy peasy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm not doing that. We can add a bunch of stuff to the cart if you want, but I need your credit card number. Let's see. Bam Audie says your R9 looks and sounds great. Oh, thank you, Bam. Yeah, I love it. Guitar Hack says sounds like guitar blowout sale at Brian's. Yeah. No, I'm not. If I found an R7, I might get rid of my traditional and I'd have to get rid of another one to get that one. But it would have to be a used guitar again because anything new in the custom shop range is just super pricey. It's unbelievable, especially here in Canada. Showman says, I have a Les Paul Custom Light that is perfect for me. It weighs under 8. Wow, a Les Paul Custom Light. I'm not I know customs are usually super heavy. Still has a Les Paul tone, yeah. Modern standard looks pretty. Awesome colors, natural. R2 says, my 2018 Classic is heavy, but I love it. Yeah, you got a beautiful guitar, R2. I don't know why the Classics they're just heavier guitars. Chuck Booth says, off topic, but where can I get that song that was in your pre-show? If you just go to, you can go to any streaming service, iTunes, Spotify, or whatever, and just type in SMEER, SMEER, and all our music's there. That song that was playing in the beginning here for the stream was called Digging. Digging, like digging, digging a ditch. That's what that song was called. But if you just type in SMEER in any of like iTunes Music or Spotify or all that stuff, it's in all the services. So that's where you can get that. Now let's see, what else do we get? Janice, how's it going? Janice Lala's in here. Guitar Hack says Peterborough and downtown Longquaid has them. Oh wow, okay, well they've already started getting them in the store, so that's good. Let me go back to the other page here. Flying V's look interesting. I know a lot of people seem to be digging this one. And I thought there was another finish. Why is there only one? I thought they had a black one, but could be wrong. I've never really played a Flying V, but I know a lot of people like them. Brian Stewart says P90 loaded SGs and Pelham is killer. It is really nice. It is a nice guitar. Showman says they are available used on Reverb. I had 3 and kept the black with the custom diamonds. And like, huh, okay, interesting. Good to know, good to know. I'm not in the market for a custom, but they are nice. If anything, my next guitar, and that's way down the road right now because my R9 is kind of my my thing, and I'm keeping that for a long time. But that gold top R7 is a really nice guitar. AMS and Z Sounds already has them in stock here in the US, and they're offering 18 months payments with with 0 interest. Wow. There you go, Jason. Does that mean that you'll be hitting the buy button tonight? We have that here at the store that I usually go to that has a lot of the stock of all the cool stuff, which is Cosmo, and they have 12 months no interest, and they also sometimes do a promotion where it's 24 months no interest. So those are dangerous when you go there and you have that option. Let's see. Brian Stewart says, I just bought a Mint 17 SG Special for $720. Wow. So $1,500 for a new one is hard to do. I can see that. Yeah, $720 for a 17 SG Special is a great price. Wow. Nocturnal says, just got a shout out from JR's friend, Junior's friend. Feel pretty cool, eh? Right there. Nocturnal feels cool. Okay. No problem, Chuck. Let's see what else we got in here. Bam says, I think I will keep saving to add the new PRS to my collection rather than buy a Les Paul. Yeah, well, if you like PRSs, you know, that's your thing. Everybody's got their favorites. You go with that. Firebird looks cool. Yeah, the Firebird. Let's have a look at the Firebird. What colors do they have this year? They've got this finish, which is a tobacco burst. It's nice. It's a nice guitar. $2,000. So that means in Canada we're looking at probably 2,500, maybe somewhere around there. And this one is a cherry. That's nice too. That's a nice guitar. Firebird, yeah. Firebirds look really nice, but man, they're big. Because I was watching Guitar Hack's live stream when he was doing his live show the other night, and man, that guitar is big. Either Guitar Hack is a small guy, or that guitar is really big. And I met Guitar Hack before when I went to see him, you know, a few months back. But you know, he's not that much shorter than me, and that guitar looked pretty big. But it sounds great. And it looked like he could, you know, handle it no problem. So I guess the balance and everything is they're well balanced. That's the thing when I look at a guitar that's like this. I'm always concerned with the balance of the neck and the body for some reason, but I guess it's not really an issue. And then they've got the Les Paul 50s with the P90, and I don't know if they've only got the one color for this, which is a gold top. And it's a nice guitar. Yeah. Yeah, so there they are. So that's their Gibson. They've got a new Thunderbird basses too. I've played them before. I've never owned one, but I've tried them. I like the black one. I like this one. But again, these ones felt a little weird to me when I did, like I haven't played one recently, obviously, but when I was playing bass, I'd go into the stores and they had them in stock. I'd always try one, but I never bought one. I love the Ernie Ball basses, the Stingrays, so I always went to those. But these ones, they sounded good. It's just that, again, I don't know what it was, the balance or something. The neck was kind of weird for me, so I never really gelled with them, but I do like the look and sound of these a lot. Bam says, you was a Gibson guy, Brian, just lost fate. It wasn't the dip switches that put me off, it was the quality control and lack of consistency for $3,000. Yeah, I understand that too, Bam. Yeah, that's... They had their issues, and you know, but when you find the right one, and you know, it's the one for you, and you kind of, I just gel with those guitars, everything about them, their sound, their feel, the look. You know, you have to look for something that's appealing to you in every way, and that'll inspire you to play a lot more, maybe, and to just, that's the most important thing, is to be inspired to pick it up and play every day. And to me, that's what the Les Pauls seem to do the most out of all the guitars out there. So I just stuck with that. And again, I'm not a guitar player by nature. I was a bass player all my life, but I did, every time I watched guitar players or thought about, you know, if I was to play guitar or whatever, that's what I would get. So I always gravitated towards them. And the guitarist in my band that I was with for many years, SMEER, he played all PRSs. So not that I wasn't familiar with PRSs and I hadn't played them. It's just, you know, you gel with different things. Everybody's got a different vibe, right? All right, let me go back. This camera here seems to still be acting up, so I'm just going to cut to this camera, which isn't as good quality as my other one, but I got to fix that cable issue. I don't know why it's doing that. The joys of technology, right? And let me bring my chat back on this side, and then we'll see. I think, yeah, we've got another 10 minutes. I think Ben is going on at 8. He's doing his show tonight with his buddy Rich, Canucks with Guitars, so don't want to cut into that time. So if you got any questions, anything you want to talk about, there's anything else here that I wanted to talk about. I'm still working out some stuff in the studio. Maybe what I can do is let you listen to something, because what I've got set up here is I've got the Helix, I've got the aux, and I've got my mic set up with the cab. And I like to listen to these streams after I do them as well, just because I want to hear how they sound coming through the stream. So what I'll do is I'll just strum a few chords on each setup, just so that I can have a reference point, and then that'll give you you guys kind of a look at them too, or a listen. So let me just grab my guitar. Let me cut back to this camera. Seems to be working back again, so let me cut to that angle. All right, so let's go to Helix first. Helix, okay, Helix is here. And, all right. So this is the Helix. Let me just shut my mic for a second. So that's the Helix. So let me cut to the aux. There. So this is the aux. This is going through the aux, Friedman into the aux, and it's got a 412 CAD simulation on it. So that was the aux. Let's now keep that one on. Okay, how do I do? Now I'm going to go to the cab that's mic'd up with an SM57. So that's a Friedman in the cab. So what you heard right now was the aux. That's a simulated 412 cab with an SM57 on it. And it's got a little bit of delay, obviously, right? So let me cut the aux part off and just go through the cab and the mic so you guys can hear what that sounds like. So give me 1 second. We're going to cut that. And I'm going to go SM57. And what am I doing? What am I missing? I'm missing something here. Oh, sorry. I got to turn it on here. So that's the real cab and the mic, right? So let's do that. So that's with the cab. Okay, let me see what you guys say here. We've got a cab plus one. Let's see. Okay, so we've got Brad said he liked the aux tones. Then he went. Did you change after I went to the cab? Cab has a low end resonant that needs to be dialed out at least through the stream. Okay, yeah, definitely through the stream and stuff. In my headphones here, obviously it sounds different than what you guys are hearing. So that's why I had to play all three versions, and then I can listen back to the stream and say, okay, when I'm sending out to the stream, this is how I need to adjust it. But when I'm in here and I'm doing recording, I can set it, you know, differently, obviously. But cool. That's all I wanted to do with that. So let me go back to. But when I played with the aux, I think the sim had more balls to it, he said. So that's the sim, or the aux. If I turned off the cab. All right, so that was the aux with the 412 sim. So Well, yeah, R2 says you should do both. Well, that's what I do as well. For some reason, when I mix both of them in the mix and send it out to the stream, it sounded kind of weird. I don't know why, but when I do it in here, it sounds great. So I'll have to play with that a little bit more. I think it's the signal chain going into the stream that I have to adjust something to do that. But the plan is to try that in recording as well, mix the two. I can actually mix 3 signals in one. So I could put a little bit of the helix, tweak that, a little bit of the actual aux with a cab sim, and then the real cab, and mix everything together to get that huge sound. So I might try doing some of that stuff. You know, it's all fun, just, you know, experiment and try some different things. But it's really hard to, like, even with these headphones here, I need to get a little EQ box, because what I hear out of my monitors when I'm actually mixing and doing stuff is very different than what I'm hearing in these headphones. So what I need to do is get an EQ box that would run to the interface before it gets to these, so I could set EQ these headphones separately from everything else, so I could get it sounding exactly the way I want in my headphones. And then my mix, set its own mix, and then whatever I send out to the stream, it would have its own dedicated mix. So that's the goal, is try to get to a point where everything sounds good in all environments, headphones, here, and in the mix, or in the live stream. So, but you know, that's why we do this stuff. We just try a whole bunch of stuff. And Dale Palmer says it seems that direct interfaces tend to do better with live streams. Yeah, I think the Helix for live streaming and stuff, it sounds, you know, really good. So it's probably because it's a direct feed and it's, I don't know, it's processed differently maybe. Not really sure why that is, but let me just move that camera a bit. So okay, so it's 8 o'clock. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. And again, Monday nights, 7 o'clock seems to be working out well. I was thinking of maybe changing it to Thursday nights, because it's a little easier for me to do Thursday nights, because I don't have to work on the Fridays in the summer. I take Fridays off, so if I do you know, Thursday night, sometimes it's a little easier, and I maybe can do it a little later too, so I don't know. So I'm still kind of weighing both options out. So right now I'm going to keep it for next Monday at 7. Sometimes I go live during the week for, you know, just doing some other stuff. So if I do, you're more than welcome to jump in. Thank you R2, R3 for coming in, moderating, and Jason Wade as well. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate all the help you guys give me. And if there's anything else you guys want to see on the show, or have any questions about, feel free to put it in the comments and send me some messages, or whatever you guys want to talk about. That gives me some good feedback and what's working and what's not. So it's always a challenge with these streams to try to make it very entertaining for everybody, whether it's discussion based, whether it's playing, whether it's demos, all that stuff. So I'm open to anything, and we'll keep doing it as long as everybody's having fun, and gives the people a place to come and hang out and talk about guitars and talk about gear and, you know, music in general. So that's always a good thing. So I hope you guys get a chance to get out this week, and if you get to a music store and you see some of the new Gibsons in stock, definitely try them out. Let me know what you think, and I'll do the same thing. And until then, we will call it an evening. Everybody should jump over to Ben's stream now. I'm pretty sure he started. I didn't see a notification, but I think he must be live. And that's good. Scotty G, thanks for jumping in. I know you're late in, but yeah, you can always rewatch the stream if you'd like. So it's all good, folks. We will talk to you next time, and yeah, be safe. Hopefully I get out on the motorcycles this weekend. If I do, I'll take some photos and maybe take a little short video or something, so you guys can get a little bit of that part of my life, which is a huge part of my life. So give you a little glimpse into that world as well at some point. All right, till then, myself and the R9 will bid you farewell. All right, folks.